A couple weeks ago, I got a call from Prusa Research, one of the biggest 3D printer companies in the world, and they said,
"Hey Nathaniel, we love your work. Would you make a commercial for us?"
"Absolutely, but I have one request. We have to go inception style with this."
Inception style?
Think of this. The printer makes its own commercial. Like a dream within a dream, except it's a printer filming itself by printing the tools to film itself. The literal ad doesn't exist without the Core One, and that's the heart of maker culture.
I love it. When do we start?
We already have. Now that I had my request, Prusa had one of their own. The entire commercial needed to be exactly 15 seconds. Remember, the typical commercial usually runs 30 seconds to a full minute, and the budget, especially for large commercials, can be an eye-watering $8 million. So the goal of this commercial was clear: make it fast, snappy, and not spend $8 million. Instead, I'd use 3D printed practical effects and props to make it look like $1 million. Sounds easy, right? Well, think again. Trying to hook viewers, clearly deliver your message, and leave them satisfied all in under just 15 seconds? That is tougher than it sounds. It's like trying to tell a story faster than you can tie your shoes. And so, the objective of the ad was to show the installation and ease of use of the Core One with the MMU3 attachment. So how do you do that in 15 seconds? These are the commercials we're all used to seeing. Massive production values, celebrity endorsements, crews of hundreds of people, and budgets that could buy a small country. Meanwhile, here I am in my workshop with a 3D printer and what can only be described as creative determination. The challenge was real. How do you compete with Hollywood when your entire crew is basically just me and my trusty border collie Poppins? My first idea seemed perfect. Create a magnetic, multicolor print that would snap directly onto the Core One's magnetic side panel. It would seem like a natural fit, as I had been having lots of fun with the Core One's magnetic side panel. It would be this satisfying click moment that shows the printer's capabilities in a really visual way. Prusa had sent me every single type of Prusament, including all the exotic ones, for another video. And in this giant box of filament was magnetite PETG, and I assumed magnetite equaled magnetic. I had this really cool idea of printing a small object, taking it off the build plate and snapping it magically onto the side of the Core One enclosure. And magnetite is cool for hobby electronics, induction loops, electromagnetic shielding, all that stuff, but unfortunately, it's not actually magnetic. I should have read the manual. And just like that, we are back to the drawing board. When you hit a wall, you need fresh perspective. And so I decided to run my new ideas by my highly vetted internal focus group. Prusa XL, printing the Core One, printing the Prusa Mini at the same time. Carbohydrate filament. When it fails, it makes real spaghetti. The feedback was mixed. Clearly, I needed a different approach. As I struggled with the 15-second constraint, I turned to my go-to solution for most of life's problems: Tom Cruise movies. You know, like the time Top Gun taught me confidence in high-stakes situations, or when Jerry Maguire inspired me to negotiate better contracts, or how The Mummy taught me to, well, not trust mummies. And that's when it hit me. A continuous one-shot? That's it! And in true Tom Cruise fashion, I did what he does best. I started running. Perfect. So now that I had my 15-second timing figured out, here's the game plan. We start with someone attaching the MMU3 up close. That's our hook. When the camera pulls back smoothly to reveal the whole printer, that's the beauty shot. Next, we somehow travel over to the colorful filament spools, dive through the opening of the center of the spool of filament, which then reveals a beautiful rainbow interior, which then leads back to the Core One printing a multicolor print time-lapse. All in one continuous shot, no cuts, no cheating. But here's where the inception part really kicks in. To pull off this Hollywood level shot without a Hollywood budget, I needed custom gear. And guess what I'm using to make it? With most of the gear assembled and looking good, I thought I was ready to start filming. That giant moving arm that's behind me is called my jib, and I used it to get some of those smooth sweeping movements around the Core One. But I was having a problem. The counterweights I was using to balance the arm were causing wobble in my shot. I discovered this wobble was coming from the weights not sitting snug on the jib counterpole because of a 1-inch gap between the weights and the pole. All that slop caused jitters during camera movements. Solution? I designed an interior collar that adapted the 2-inch plates to fit a 1-inch jib perfectly, printed in PETG for strength and durability. Now let's talk about something that can make or break any commercial: lighting. It's the difference between professional and taping a flashlight to your iPhone. Lighting changes everything. With just a key light, you get this. I'm Batman. Add only hair lighting. I might be Batman. Add colorful lights. Do the Batmobile Robin. Or balanced. I'm definitely not Batman. But here's the real secret. It's not just about the lights, it's about how soft or hard they are. Think of it like the difference between a sun on a clear day versus a cloudy day. Direct sunlight creates harsh shadows, not flattering, but add clouds as a natural diffuser and suddenly everything looks better. For product shots, you want that cloudy day softness. So I needed to create my own cloud. This is my 3D printed diffusion panel. I'll admit I cheated on the assignment and used my Prusa XL, which is being used for another commercial I'm making for Prusa, instead of the Core One for this prop. But bigger build plate means bigger diffusion. And here's the cool part. When you use the grid infill, set the top layer to 0 and the bottom layer to 5, a simple cylinder becomes a $100 lighting tool. A 3D printed light diffuser, we're actually using the grid infill to replicate a professional light grid system, and I can make the 3D printed diffuser as big or as small as I want, whatever color I want. Here's the light without diffusion, and here it is with the panel. Same light, completely different results. Now for a bit of movie magic. How do we make it look like the camera travels through the rainbow tunnel that's inside the filament spool? Now remember, the spool's only this big, and my camera, well, it's quite a bit heavier, and bigger. It's this big. Enter this little guy. My 3D printed green screen, patent pending. Just like Hollywood uses green screens to add backgrounds later, I use this tiny version for the tunnel effect. I printed this in Prusa Simply Green PLA, sized perfectly for the spool's center. By filming the tunnel separately and placing this green disc in the spool, I can combine the videos together, making it look like the camera flies right through the center of the brightly lit and colorful filament spools. So I took a page out of the professional ad maker's playbook using a few visual shortcuts to make products and foods really pop on screen. As an example, to make ice cream appear extremely white in color and prevent it from melting under the hot lights, they use mashed potatoes. For cereal commercials, they take it a step further and they use glue instead of milk to prevent the cereal from getting soggy. And also they put lipstick on strawberries to make them appear extra red and extra delicious.
As I accidentally bit into the lipstick-covered strawberry, I realized I'd made a mistake. And no, it wasn't eating the lipstick-covered strawberry, but rather it was drinking the glue.
My point is, sometimes you need to enhance reality for the camera. Filament spools have cardboard centers, not exactly cinematic. So instead of showing that bland cardboard interior, I designed a rainbow tunnel that would sell the illusion of traveling through something magical and colorful. Exactly what viewers expect when they see those vibrant filament spools. The tunnel is printed in separate colored sections, red, orange, yellow, blue, and purple. Each section slots together to create one continuous tunnel. When you shine the light through the tunnel with the assembled pieces, the colors blend and glow, selling the illusion of a magical tunnel with the perfect transition after the effect for a commercial. And while we're talking about fake things for the camera, those beautiful filament spools you see in the commercials, also fake. Real spools look terrible once you start unwinding them. Loose filament, weird shadows, general chaos, so I printed a display version specifically designed to look perfect on camera. Sometimes the best practical effect is the one that's practically fake. Now that I had the rainbow tunnel created, I faced another challenge. Where to actually mount this thing for filming. The rainbow tunnel needed a custom solution. If I put the tunnel on a regular table, the camera on the motion slider would keep bumping into the table. The goal was to keep the camera centered through the tunnel, so I designed a custom stand with embedded 3/8 inch threads that could mount to a baby pen and attach to a light stand, giving me the exact height and clearance I needed. For smooth, repeatable movement through the tunnel, handheld was out of the question. Even with a gimbal, I'd get inconsistencies, so I rigged my camera to a motorized slider for perfect, consistent movement every time. All the time. On time. For our finale, we land back on the printer for a time lapse. Now, a time lapse is really just hundreds of photos stitched together into a video. But here's the problem. If your camera's on autofocus, it refocuses for every single photo. The focus hunts around, creating these micro jitters that make the whole thing look blurry and scream amateur hour. So you have to lock everything, focus, exposure, white balance on manual, but how do you manually focus on something that doesn't exist yet? The print isn't there when you're getting them set up. Meet my pre-visualization cubes. These 1-inch cubes serve two crucial purposes. First, they let me compose the shot where my subject literally doesn't exist yet. Kind of philosophical when you think about it. Second, printed in Prusa Mint Gravity Gray, they're perfect for setting white balance and measuring light. With these cubes, I can measure the height and width of non-existent 3D prints, nail the exposure, and lock the focus. Everything is dialed in before the print even begins. With all the pieces in place, custom gear printed, shots planned, and motion systems built, and footage capture, we had our commercial. 15 seconds of inception-style magic, currently running as pre-roll ads across all social platforms. And here it is, the final commercial.
The Core One. It's fast. It's reliable. And now it does color.
And that's a wrap.
What I love about this project is that it proves a point. The Core One didn't just star in its own commercial, it literally made it possible. Every problem we solved, every piece of custom gear, every expensive effect, all that came from the printer we were advertising. That's true Inception level filmmaking. This project taught me that constraints don't kill creativity, they sharpen it. 15 seconds forced me to think differently. The Inception requirement pushed me to solve problems I've never encountered. The result? A commercial that's truly unique, surprisingly clever, and literally could not exist without the product it's selling. At its core, one of my favorite projects I've worked on. Oh, and before you go, every single 3D printed prop and solution from this commercial the adapter collars, the diffusion panels, the rainbow tunnel, the platform, all of it. They're available right now on printables.com for free, so you can literally download and print the commercial's production gear yourself. And hey, remake my commercial with your own style. Pretty cool. So here's my challenge to you. Embrace your constraints. Use them as a launching pad, not roadblocks. Take whatever tools you have, 3D printer, camera, imagination, and create something that surprises even you. Kit bash, remix, experiment. Push past what you think was possible. And it is my promise that as you do these things, you will be amazed at what you are capable of creating. If this behind the scenes journey inspired you, hit the subscribe for more creative challenges, drop a comment with the ambitious project you're tackling next, and as always, let's make something awesome together. With the commercial a success, it was time to start planning the next commercial with my focus group. More 3D printed dog toys. Meet flavored Filament. Stop printing and take me on a walk. 3D printed traps for the Amazon delivery man. I hate that guy. Squirrel deterrent system? Urgent. Good dog.